Okay, so this video is going to be a performance and a tutorial for the Cool Soulmates trick that I uploaded a few months ago, and I'm going to be replacing the video that I have up on my channel for a few reasons. The first reason is that it was a bit long. 3 minutes is a bit long for a performance video. And the second reason is because I kind of cheated in the performance. After the deck was shuffled, I did get it into kind of a setup, but I'll talk about that later. I'm going to do a quick performance of this trick, and this performance is going to be the simplest and easiest way on how to do this trick, and later I'll teach you some add-ons that you can do to make this trick a bit more convincing. So without further ado, let's get into the trick. So right here I have an ordinary deck of cards, and I'm just going to give them a quick shuffle and a quick cut, like that. And how about one more shuffle? Okay, so now this trick uses a concept called soulmates. So basically what soulmates are is cards that have the same number and share the same color. So the 3 of clubs and the 3 of spades would be soulmates because they're the same color and they're both 3s. So I'm going to do one more example. Let's go through the deck. The 9 of diamonds. What would be the soulmate to the 9 of diamonds? It would be the 9 of hearts because they both have the same color and they both have the same number. I think we've done enough examples, so I'm going to do one final one, and you need to memorize this one. Let me just give the deck a quick cut, and we're going to look at the top card. The 7 of spades. What would be the soulmate to the 7 of spades? It would be the 7 of clubs, okay? I'm just going to put that onto the side because hopefully you're going to find the soulmate to this card in this trick. I'm going to dribble down the cards onto the deck. You're going to say stop whenever you like, okay? Right there. Okay, so now we have a small packet of cards, and with this packet I'm going to deal down cards onto the table. You can say stop whenever you want. Right there? Okay. So now you have a choice of 3 cards. You get the one on my thumb, the one underneath, or the one on top of the pile. Which one do you want? The one underneath? Okay, let's take that card, and I'm just going to deal it down right about there, because hopefully that card that I just dealt down is a soulmate to this card right here. Let's flip it over. Ooh, not good. Well, you know, since I'm a magician, I can actually change cards into what I want them to be. So, let's say if I take this Queen of Diamonds, I can just influence that card. You can see, this card is no longer the 7 of spades, but it is the soulmate to the Queen of Diamonds. And that's the trick. Okay, so we are back for the tutorial. One thing before I go on is you should probably take out jokers and add cards, just because the fact that jokers and add cards do not have soulmates, and people will get very confused if you ask, oh, what's a soulmate to this add card right here? So don't do that. It's a bad idea, if that wasn't obvious already. So the setup is basically you're going to take 2 of any soulmates out of the deck. It doesn't really matter which ones they are. I usually pick face cards mainly because face cards are unique, and people who don't really handle cards can get confused with cards such as the 10 of hearts and the 7 of hearts because they both have a lot of pips on them and they both are hearts. But if you take something like the 7 of hearts and the Queen of hearts, they won't get confused because this just has pips and this has a wonderful, nice design, which is a really nice subtlety that I like because people won't get confused. And what you're going to do with those 2 face cards, in this case is the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds, you're just going to put them on top. That's your setup. That simple. Okay, so now what you're going to do, as you introduce the concept of soulmates, you're just going to go and shuffle up the deck, but making sure that you keep those cards on top. In the performance, I did something called a false overhand shuffle. I'll leave a link in the description below, but basically all you're doing is you do the first shuffle part, you're going to leave one of the packets out jogged like that and put the rest on top. You're going to push this up so you have a break under these cards, which is the queens, and you're going to shuffle them up to that break so you still have these two cards on top. Now, once you think you've done enough examples of what soulmates are, you're going to say that you're going to flip over the top card, and as you say that, you're going to do a double undercut, which looks like this. If you don't know what a double undercut is, again, I'll leave a link in the description below. So now you have one of the red queens on top and one of the red queens on the bottom. You flip over that card, but you're actually flipping over two cards, and it's called double lift. If you don't know how to do a double lift, again, I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, so you have the 10 of diamonds, and you can see that these cards are really alike, but it doesn't matter because one's a face card. So you're going to take that double, and you're going to tell them what would be the soulmate to the 10 of diamonds. And hopefully they're going to say 10 of hearts. So you're going to take that card, you're going to flip the double over, push off a single, so now you have the queen. And as you do that, you're going to say, hopefully you're going to find the soulmate to that card right there. So now what you're doing is you're basically forcing the queen of hearts on the spectator, but you're making it look like they have a completely free choice. You're making it look like there's no way that you could force a card, basically. So, and you're going to do that by first dribbling the cards onto your other hand, or if you don't know how to do a dribble, you can just have the spectator cut the cards. Whatever you do, you're just going to take the packet that has the queen of hearts on the bottom, and you're going to start dealing down cards. They can actually say stop whenever they want, it doesn't really matter, but let's just say they say stop right here. Tongue twister. Okay. So now you give them a choice, blah blah blah. Let's say they want the one on my thumb. This obviously is not the queen of hearts. So what you're going to do is whichever card they pick, you're going to square that up with the deck. So for instance, let's say they want this one right here. You're going to deal this card down so this one is squared with the deck. Or if they want the one on the packet, you're going to square it up with a deck. And you're going to do that because in a moment you're going to do a bottom deal. If you don't know how to do a bottom deal, I'll leave the link in the description below. So let's say they pick this card right here, the one on my thumb. You're just going to square it up with the deck. You're going to perform your bottom deal. And then the rest is basically just show, because right now you still have your two soulmates right there. So you dramatically flip this over, hoping, ooh, this card would be so amazing if it's a soulmate. And you flip it over and you show them that it's apparently not, but you know something. And then you can do some random bullcrap that I did in the video where you can influence cards and make them change by rubbing them on the back. And then you flip it over, show them that it's the queen of diamonds. And that's basically the basic way of doing this trick. Let's get into some add-ons. Okay, so this is variation number 1. Once you get into your setup of one card on the top and one card on the bottom, when you flip over your double, you can keep it as a double when you put it onto the table. I would only do this if you're performing for like in front of a camera like I am, or if you're performing for 1 or 2 people that you trust that won't touch this card. Unless, I wouldn't do this method, but you're just going to put that onto the table. If face up or face down, it doesn't matter. And all you're doing is forcing the queen of diamonds, which is the soulmate, to the card underneath this card. So you force that card, and you say hopefully this card right here is the soulmate to the 6 of diamonds. And you can actually show this one more time before you flip it over. Do your single push off. You flip over this card, and then you flip this one over, hopefully, which they think that is the 6 diamonds. You flip it over, and it's the queen of hearts. This is variation numero dos. So right here I have an ordinary deck of cards, yada yada yada, same thing. I'm just going to give the deck a cut and another cut, and I'm just going to flip over the top card, and what's going to be the soulmate to that card right there? It would be the 9 of diamonds, right? So hopefully you're going to find the 9 of diamonds in this trick. I'm going to deal the cards down onto the table, call out stop. Ready? Right there? Okay. Now I'm going to deal down cards, say stop whenever you want. Right there, okay. We'll just deal down the cards just for time. Now hopefully this card that I just dealt down was a soulmate to this card right here. Watch. Ooh. Not good. But you know, since I am a magician, I can change cards into what I want. So let's say I didn't want the 9 of hearts. Let's say I wanted the soulmate to the card that I just dealt down. So all we have to do is just give the 9 of hearts a little flick, and you can see that that card has now turned into the soulmate of the Queen of Spades. And now I'm just going to give you the deck to examine, and you can see that there's going to be absolutely no 9 of hearts in the whole entire deck. And that's the trick. I really like this method. I use this method the whole time. But it does have a bit different setup. So you're going to take an indifferent card out, and you're going to have your 2 soulmates. Again, you're going to put one on top, one on the bottom. But now you're going to take your indifferent card, and you're going to put that one onto the top, like that. So your setup is the 7 of clubs on the top, the Queen of hearts second to the top, and then the Queen of diamonds on the bottom. So now you're going to flip over the top card, and this is actually truly the top card, the 7 of clubs. You can put it on the table. I like this method the best because they see that this is only one card, and it's a 7 of clubs the whole time. In the performance video, people might have been a bit curious if I actually put that card that I said I did into the box, but right here they have no doubt this is the 7 of clubs. So you force that, you force the bottom card onto them like that. You do your bottom deal, and right here you're going to square these 2 packets up, but make sure to have this card still on the top, because if you put this card into the middle, you're screwed. So make sure you have this card on top of the deck while you square it up. Okay? So you flip this card over, showing that it is not the soulmate to the 7 of clubs. And now you're going to get a tiny pinky break under the top card, and you're going to do a Shapeshifter Change. You do your change, and you show them those 2 cards, and right here you still have the 7 of clubs. You can leave it like that, but if you want to give the deck out to inspect, you can just cut the cards quickly, and you're left clean. They can spread through the deck and find the 7 of clubs in the middle. But if you have that 7 of clubs still on top, you can do something like double undercut that card, and then do a gambler's cop and put that in your pocket or something. And then you can show that there's absolutely no 7 of clubs in the whole entire deck. But it's just an idea. That's basically it for variation number 2. Oh god, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go get a drink. Okay, so this is another variation. Basically you have the spectator shuffle up the card as much as they want. But now all you're doing is controlling 2 soulmates up to the top. And you can do it in a number of different ways. What I do is, as I'm doing the examples, I just while they're not looking, just control that to the top. But you can do it whichever method you want. Like you show what would be the soulmate to that. And you just control those 2 cards at the bottom, top, sorry. Oh god, my My throat hurts so much. And once you're ready, you do your double undercut. So you have these 2 cards, and then you can go on with the rest of the trick. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully I covered everything. I know this is a long video, but everything that I added was vital to what you need to know about this trick and what to do to perform it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. Make sure to show your friends because no one knows I exist yet. I love all the support that I've gotten so far, but my throat is really hurting because I talked for about an hour in front of the camera. If you have any questions, just email me at magictrickster@gmail.com. It should be somewhere around the screen right here. And that's it. I'll see you in about a week.